Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and I'm with Dylan Bowman. He's the champion of the 2018 Tarawera Ultramarathon. Congratulations, Dylan.
Thanks so much. Yeah, tough day.
So, for somebody who seems like immortal most of the time, or at least that's kind of how I think of you, like you're having a very mortal moment right now.
Yeah, I am a wreck right now. I am smashed from that race. I was not expecting it to be as difficult as it was. But of course, I'm super happy with the result and glad to get it done.
Let's back up just a little bit to before the race. You were the 2015 champion. You talked about in your pre-race interview with us sort of the, looming memory of Ultra Trail Cape Town not working out. Did you feel some pressure or some, what was going in your head, like, I'm here to perform, like, I got to do this?
Not so much pressure. I mean, I was obviously highly motivated to come here and do the race. And yeah, the disappointment of Cape Town definitely added to the motivation. So I was honestly just like a little nervous after that really unfortunate circumstance that, if I came here and laid an egg, and then had two really unfortunate races in a row, it's hard to recover from that, at least mentally. And so I'm super, super glad that it worked out well today. And yeah, I mean, the disappointment from Cape Town is now a little bit easier to bear.
So you went one direction in winning the race in 2015, the quote-unquote downhill direction. Then you went uphill today. I was listening to some people talk at the finish line, and they were saying that they added up 3,800 meters of climbing. Did it feel uphill?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it felt uphill. It was just, it was really hard. Because of the weather recently, we've gotten a lot of rain. The trails were just in really bad shape, at least compared to when I ran this in 2015 when it was a perfect sunny blue day. I think it's also a little more difficult getting the fast miles done early and then having the hardest part of the race come last. To be honest, I think that worked to my advantage just because I'm more of like a strength runner, and so I think the I guess slowness of the track, because it was just so sloppy out there, slowed down guys like Cody and Vlad, who I ran with a lot. And then when they started to get tired, I was able to, use that strength and luckily hold them off. So it felt much, much harder than my 2015 race.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about the first 40K. You guys came through the 41K aid station, which is essentially a marathon in 2:47.
That might be my PR.
I mean, it's pretty easy running, but it's not flat by any means, and there are some kind of little icky sections in it. Did it feel fast?
To be honest, I felt pretty darn good. I was surprised to be with Cody and Vlad, just given their track and road speed. So I was pleasantly surprised to be close. And once we hit the single track, they actually gapped me a little bit.
Okay.
So I was a little fearful. Oops.
After 40K.
Yeah, kind of as soon as we got into the single track section. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a big gap, but it made me think, oh, I'm so silly. I should have eased off in that first 40K because I wasn't feeling too hot. But yeah, luckily found a second wind, I guess. And
third wind, fourth wind.
I guess so. And and then was able to get separation on Vlad, about 45K, and then got a little bit of a gap on Cody at at Okatina basically. And then was able to hold on.
You and Vlad and Cody were together for basically the first 40K. Were you sharing pace setting? Were you how was that working out, that dynamic?
I was pretty much the caboose the whole time. Of course, those guys are super fast and super talented, and I was again kind of surprised to be, with them on the road section early in the race. But once we hit the single track, I actually got through the second aid station a little quicker than both of them, and it took them a bit to catch back up, but then they got me pretty quickly after that. And then, we ran together at least 50K, and Cody and I even longer than that.
Okay. Out of Okataina, it's a big climb.
Yeah.
Up on some single track. I think I heard you saying to somebody else at the finish line that you actually intentionally tried to push there to, go.
Yeah, so approaching Okataina, I sort of realized that Cody was no longer behind me.
Like they're there.
And I was feeling pretty good at that time. And so I figured, maybe this is a good opportunity for me to try and get a little separation. So I got through Okataina really, really quick, barely stopped, and then made quick work up the climb and tried to really push it. And I figured, again, being more of a strength runner, it would play more into my hands. And that's actually what happened. I think that was where I was able to get a bigger gap on Cody. But the trail up there was just in such bad shape. Okay. And it was just such a slog. So I kind of lost energy thereafter, and was kind of worried for the rest of the race that I may have pushed too hard and those guys were going to catch me.
So between Okataina and Blue Lake, which was the 81K aid station, so we're talking 58 to 81K, you put 16 minutes on Cody, which is like a huge gap. And then in the next section, Blue Lake to Redwoods, another 13K, you gave back 6 of those minutes.
Yep.
I don't know if that was you having highs and lows, him, he had Sam McCutcheon knocking on his door as well, so there might have been some of that there. But were you having some rough feelings from Blue Lake to Redwood?
Yeah, really. That last 15K was pretty hard for me. I wasn't doing very well nutritionally, and I had received a report that I had a 15-minute lead with 15 kilometers to go. So I thought, okay, well, I think I'm probably safe, but I was not feeling good at the time. So I just tried to, grit my teeth and suffer through it, which is basically what I did. Those last 15K were really tough for me.
You came down, this year's finishing line was this long chute, like a 100-meter chute. You had just a shit-eating grin on your face the whole time, though. Like, you must have been able to put the hurt away and let winning wash over you.
Yeah, I mean, again, going back to the disappointment in Cape Town, it was just like a huge load off my shoulders. And you and I had spoken about how my wife has been in really poor health for the last couple of months. And, it's been tough, and quite honestly, I almost didn't make the trip last week because of it. So, I was, thinking about her and, basically just like, where the hell is the damn end? And as soon as I saw it, I was elated. Yeah.
Harmony, we hope you feel better soon.
Love you, sweetie.
The finish line of the Tarawera Ultramarathon is a very intense place. Like the local Maori tribe performs this haka, and they get right in your face to do it. For me, watching, it's actually kind of difficult to watch. Like, it's just super intense. What's it like to be on the receiving end of that?
I mean, it's so cool, right? I mean, it's like the most authentic New Zealand kind of expression of indigenous culture, and it's luckily my second time receiving the haka at the finish line, so it's a great honor. And I think it's a really cool thing that Paul and Tim do to include that sort of cultural component. I mean, that definitely added to the positive feelings there at the finish.
Ultra Trail Mount Fuji is next. Time to return to Japan and see if you can, the race is able to put on its full 100-mile distance. 100 miles in April! Yeah,
I'm really excited about it, to be honest. And if I'm speaking honestly, the trails today were worse than the trails at Fuji 2 years ago when we got rained out.
Okay.
I think the weather's a little more stable in the spring. I have historically always just raced my best in the spring. I don't know why that is. I think it's just like the rhythm of my body and training, and Coop and I have talked about it a number of times. So it makes sense. Like, I'm motivated to do it. It is early in the year, but I can recover quickly from this, and then put in a lot of good work. And luckily, it's, I travel so much. I'll be able to stay home for the next, hopefully 2 months, and put in a lot of good work for that. And I just can't say enough good things about my experience at the race 2 years ago. Even though we got rained out, I just had such a good time. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to Japan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your win today. Happy recovery.
Thanks so much.
Put your legs up, get some liquids and food in you,
Yeah.
and turn towards Mount Fuji, right?
Cool.
Congrats.
Thanks so much.